Alrighty, so we missed the baby. All of us are missing the baby over here. I hope she's doing good, and I hope you're so happy to have her back in your arms. I wanted to show you a few things that we had done so you can kind of keep things going with her. And I'm going to use her little buddy as a model. So the first thing, simple sit. She's got a long back. So it's actually not always as simple as you would expect. Also, she likes to be, sometimes she likes to be on a softer surface to do it. I've got a hard surface here on the ground, on the basement floor here. So I often use the big, I used a rug essentially for her to be on. But anyway, so yes, so here's Miss Kaya, who's her very good friend. And let me show you, when you're asking for a sit, I just kind of straighten up my body, which often is enough. So let me move around, and you can see just when I straighten up my body, that's enough for her to sit. And so that was also the case with Miss Remi. So again, you're just moving around, simple sit, and she just does it just from the change in your body posture. Now, you can also ask for a sit, and so just the word makes her sit. So, and oftentimes, so she does it so great, but if she needs a little more, I give her a little gesture like this, sit. So we'll move around, come on. Give her a little gesture, sit. So that's kind of the most you should ever ask for with her. She responded real well just with that upper body movement, that little bit of body language. The other thing is, if you're talking with someone, she'll have a tendency to just kind of sit politely and wait, which is a nice behavior. So anyway, there's the sit. Down we did not get to. She's got a long back. And so let me just show you how you might do that when you get to it. So I'll put a treat right in front of the dog's nose and then trace the line down. So I'll start with her, and I'll just trace that line all the way down. And that's how you get that down. Good girl. Yes, you're amazing. And then over time, come in. Over time, you don't have to get down there and make that big gesture. Let me be a little more sideways. Come here, girl. Sit. Whoop. Sit. So later on, you won't have to do that very big gesture. You can just kind of move it down, but that'll take time. Yes. Very good. That little downward gesture. Stay, this is how we'll do. And she got to stay just maybe 3 or 4 steps. So let me show you how you would do that. When you start at home, say she's in a sit, ask her for a stay, which is going to be sort of this traffic cop signal. Stay. And in the beginning, just wiggle a little bit, nothing more than that. I know that's funny, but just for her to get the idea that she can have some distance from you and she's okay, that she needs to realize her body is separate from yours. And so you'll ask for a stay, traffic cop, and then just kind of wiggle, move around a little bit. You can see that her head kind of goes like this when I'm moving because she's responding to what I'm doing. She's thinking about the food that I have, that kind of a thing. Good girl. But as she gets better and better, and this is where we had gotten to with Remi. Ready? Stay. And just maybe take some steps back, a little bit at a time. Start with 1 step, in the way that we would start this way, Remi. I got Remi on the brain. Kaya, stay. And I might take 1 step, and then come back and feed her. Stay. 1, 2. And then come back and feed her. And just keep working. Sometimes I'll stay at a particular level, say 1 step back. I'll do that 3 times in a row perfectly before I move on to taking 2 steps. So make sure she's really solid before you ask for the next level. But she had gotten to where I would get away for about 3 or 4 steps, and she was still holding. Sit down, say, oh, loose leash walk. Let's see here. Let me show you a little bit about that. loose leash walk, you're initially just, I had her outside, so there's two pieces to it. One of them is just going to be the ability to just be outside and be comfortable. So we spent some time outside just walking around, having her sniff, and eating a little bit of food. So she gets that feeling that it's nice to be outside and it's not so scary. She's a little dog, so the world can be really overwhelming. So just sitting out there, watching leaves, watching cars go by, and all that time just eating and having a good time, that's all really valuable. So we spent some time outside. The other thing, though, is having her learn how to be by your leg as you're walking. So the way that I start with her is I'm going to stand up. I hope you can still see me. It might cut my head off, but that's okay. Let's move a little further. Good girl. So I'm going to put myself right next to Kaya, and I'm going to feed her here. I don't know if you're able to see. She turned a little bit, so I'm going to turn myself a little bit. Good. So I'm just going to keep moving around. Yes. I'm feeding her for being next to me. And this is what I'm looking for. You don't need a leash. You don't need anything. You're just trying to get her the idea that it's a nice idea to be next to your leg. Yes. And this is what we were working on. We had actually started to go through straight lines, which it's hard for you to see. I can't get the whole expanse of the room. But essentially, once we'd done this roundy round thing, then we had just started walking in straight lines. And I'm going to walk off the camera. But what I'm doing is walking in straight lines. And you can see that no matter where I go, what direction I go, she's staying close to my leg. For you, because Remi's so small, you're going to have to reach way down. But it's sometimes helpful to have the treat hand on the side that the dog is, so that you're kind of treating for placement close to your leg. Yes, you are amazing. All right. So one of the other things we did was a leave it. So you can see I've got a handful of food here. Oh, good girl. And I'm letting her just lick and chew and do whatever. Good girl. But then I'm going to ask her, yeah, leave it. Good girl. Good girl. And Remi could do this as well. I can't tell if you can see. Let's bring you over here a little further. Come on, girl. So again, handful of food. Here we are. Handful of food. I'm going to put it right in front of her face. But my hand in the beginning is closed. Yeah, she says, oh, I like that. Leave it. Leave it. Very nice. And Remi's quite good at that. So again, start with a closed hand, put it right in front of her face, and it's her job to move her nose back. Leave it. Very nice. Good girl. Very good. So those are the things that we did together when Remi was over here. And I'd be happy to do a little online session if you guys have any challenges working through those. But we sure miss her, love her, and hope she's happy at home. I hope you guys are so happy to have her back with you. I bet you are. All right, thanks a lot.